Understand what diagram to draw? All right. So there are few diagrams, there's essential diagrams in macro that you need to know. Regardless of what situation, chances are you going to use these three diagrams. These three diagrams consist of let me just show you another good one. Right? These are the three diagrams that you can draw. What? Yeah. From where? Huh? From where? Loxwell or Tambun? What do you say? So if you want to draw economic growth, you want to draw inflation, you want to draw unemployment, chances are you're going to use this one of these three. Right? You draw injection model, right? You can draw. Make sense? Second, you can draw Keynesian model. Third thing, you can draw the ADAS model, right? For Keynesian model, especially careful when you draw inflationary gap and deflationary gap. These two gaps, there are no arrows, right? Unless you are talking about expansionary or contractionary policies, then there will be arrows. There's a difference between your capacity and you overspend, or the difference between the capacity and you underspend. So there's inflationary gap and deflationary gap. There's no arrows. Arrows is shown when you are doing expansionary or contractionary policies. Does that make sense? Make sense? So these are the three diagrams you choose one to draw. Make sense? Don't draw micro diagrams. Don't draw micro diagrams. Don't draw the PPC diagrams, which is the production possibility curve diagrams, and you must not draw the another one, which is demand and supply. Demand and supply is only applicable in chapter 6, taxes and subsidies. Make sense? And exchange rates. Exchange rate we also use demand and supply. Right? There's some diagrams that you need to take note. What do I mean by micro diagram? Micro diagram means there's only D and S and P and Q. There's no PL, no AD, no AS, and no RGDP. Right? There's micro diagram. Any other question other than this one? Did I answer your question? Did I answer your question? Why? Did I answer? No? Right? If you talk about expansionary monetary policies, right? If you talk about expansionary monetary policies, oh no, this is not yours. For the solutions, especially for chapter 5, chapter 5 is quite popular, right? Chapter 5 is quite popular. Oh, this here also. I showed you before, but I never showed the diagram, that's all. Right? Expansionary and contractionary, especially on monetary policy, you must not only talk about interest rate and money supply anymore. Regardless of what's the solution, right? Unless I just ask you to use interest rate and money supply. Otherwise, you must use legal reserve requirement. You must use OMO, right? You must use discount rate. You must use minor tools. Make sense? For fiscal policy, it doesn't change. Fiscal policy, you can still use government spending and tax, right? Okay, that's all. Any other question to address some issues, right? That is why also the government doesn't like cryptocurrencies. The government, most of the countries, they don't want to legalize cryptocurrencies. Because if they legalize cryptocurrencies, they will lose the entire monetary policy. Cryptocurrencies is about decentralized, right? So they only have fiscal and monetary policy. If they legalize cryptocurrencies, they will only left with fiscal policy. And fiscal policy is long-term effect. It will they have to wait for 5 years to 10 years, then only they can see the effect. So it's too long. Monetary policy is faster. That's why most of the countries, they don't want to legalize crypto, right? Make sense? This is something, side note, for those who are into cryptos, just be careful. Anytime Singapore and US can make it illegal, if they feel that it's threatened, right? If they feel that it's threatened, then your cryptocurrency's value will drop by a lot, right? The last part is exchange rates. There are 3 types of exchange rates. In fact, to be honest, China and US has already introduced their own federal cryptocurrencies that they hope can replace the cryptocurrencies in the Wall Street, right? Okay. China one is known as the DCET. You can search yourself. The US one is known as the Fed coin, right? So we are already done with the appreciation and depreciation. Right, done. This one done. Value done. Supply demand almost done. Now we're going to discuss the 3 types of exchange rate and also the effects. Let's see how far we can go. Otherwise, I'm going to use the last lecture to cover up. Right. First type of exchange rate is known as the floating exchange rates. Floating exchange rate is like, if you take micro before, it's like the free market system, right? The government don't intervene at all. Government don't intervene at all. When they don't intervene, the value is solely depends on the forces of supply and demand, right? Developed countries, they usually use floating exchange rates, right? The value can change daily and even minutes nowadays. But now, this one is old types of updates. Now it's like seconds. I showed you before, right? The FS rates. If you go to FS rates live feed, you will see that it's changing very fast. Last time, what's the rate? Anyone remember? What's the decimal? Around what? What's the rate? Anyone? Oops. FS rate live. So if you look at the live forex rates, you will see this rate, right? I showed you this table before. Right? Come on. This is the chart I showed you before, right? No, I don't do updates, right? Previously is what? Remember? What this value? Change by second again, right? Change by second. Change by second again. Can you see? Right? So buy or sell? Crypto traders. Buy or sell? Today. Buy or sell? Let's see tomorrow what happened. Buy or sell today? Huh? Euro USD, buy. You say, you never even trade, you keep quiet. He's the pro. Millionaire trader. Millionaire trader don't trade this side of cheap stuff. 1 lot, 2 lot. They trade 10, 20, 30. All right. So 0.98893. Let me just print screen. Who want to buy and who want to sell? Anyone buying? Let's see tomorrow what's the price. Anyone buying? Anyone selling? Wow, no one want to buy and sell. Okay, Macaron want to sell. Let's see. Let's see whether you win or the market win. Right? Yeah, it's all about gambling. If you never do any analysis before, it's literally like committing suicide. Okay? So that is for floating, right? Floating exchange rates. Unfortunately, you need to know the diagrams. You need to know the diagrams rather than the charts. Okay? So, increase in demand. Same thing I'm going to ask you. I already gave you all the factors here. You tell me why, right? When MYR appreciates, it can be due to increase in demand or decrease in supply. Here comes my Mr. Latecomer, as usual. Late until the end. Very consistent. Let's give him a clap. So tomorrow you'll be late also, Jun Heng. Why? Still cannot find kappa. Today what? Eat pizza, but pizza delivery is late. No, because pizza delivery cannot find kappa. You're driving slower than usual. Why? Huh? You're sick. Still very sick. Oh, you're so sad. Ah. Okay. It's okay. Never mind. You're just consistent. No your fault. So, increase in exports. Why it will lead to currency appreciates? This is also a recap for you. Let's see. Xiangjun. Xiangjun, faster. No time to lose. Why increase export will lead to currency appreciates? Huh? I beg your pardon. What do you say? Of course, it's demand. I'm not sure it's demand. Why? Totally wrong. How can it be that wrong? I thought about export, you're going to talk about imports, right? And they don't. What, you don't buy your own? You don't buy your own imports? What do you mean? Malaysia don't need to import from another country. Why is it related to exports? I have no idea. Huh? Not sure. F3, you want to help? F3. Ajit, take back your paper. Previous, your essay paper. Take back. Oh, I don't know. Why you all don't want to collect back your paper? I have to like remind you to collect your paper. You want to give me a souvenir, is it? I don't need, alright? Don't need souvenirs. So why? As usual, Xiangjun cannot answer. Poi, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think? Why increase in exports will lead to demand increase faster? Later you will say I will have to skip the recording again. Or Yue, skip recording again. Yue will say I will have to skip recording every time you scold students. Okay, I'm not scolding, I'm just asking question. Oi, how are you going to take my final? Why increase in exports will lead to demand increase for currencies? At least something. Okay, good. So yes, let's give Poi a clap. Finally, Poi learned something, knows something already. Because of this, right? PQ, right? MYR USD. When people want to buy our exports, they have to demand our currency first, right? They have to demand for our currency. Because of that, this price will increase to another equilibrium price. That is why we call this ER in this manual, ER1 or ER2, right? The same thing like price. So because they need to buy our exports, they need to use our currency to buy our exports, right? Second reason, increase in income receipt. Income receipt, Yihui, why? So this is how you show the floating, very easy, right? This is how you show the floating diagram. Floating and sharing diagram, right? Very simple, right? Floating. Okay. Don't need to show me the diagram like that. In your final, if exchange rate were to come out, normally it will come out. Don't show me two demand shift and two supply shift. This is just to save space to show you two together, right? Make sense? If the floating were to come out, just show me one shift. Either one demand shift or one supply shift, the another one remain the same. Make sense? Make sense? This is floating. Yes, Yiwei, faster. Faster? You say you want to skip the recording later?
I have no idea.
No idea. Seriously, you are. Increase in income receipt because? What is income receipt? What's income receipt? What's income receipt? The balance between export and import. No lah, that one is balance of payment, right? Income receipt is what? You receive income from overseas. Make sense? Receive income from overseas. Maybe you receive it as interest, revenue, profit, dividend. All these are income receipt. What is inside the income approach? All the stuff inside income. Rent, for example, for land. You bought a house overseas, then you rent it to the US citizens, then citizens pay you in US dollar will have to convert to Malaysian ringgit if you want to use that US dollar. Make sense? So the demand will increase from DD to DD1. Exchange rate will appreciate. Use appreciate, don't use increase. Right? The third one is capital inflow. Capital inflow is when they want to invest in Malaysia. Right? Invest now include two stuff. I told you before. One is the normal investment. When we talk about the capital goods, the factories. All right. Another one is the financial investment that your parents like to save up. Property lah, forex lah, currencies lah, cryptos lah. Right, make sense? Savings account, even savings accounts, interest rate is higher, then I go and buy your currency and deposit in your country's account. So all these are capital inflow. It will lead to demand of Malaysian ringgit. It appreciates, right? I only list two here, but actually appreciate there's one more, like decrease in supply. It will also lead to currency appreciates, right? This one I already mentioned last week. I'm not going to repeat. You go and sort it yourself, right? For currency depreciates, it can be due to always imports. It cannot be related to exports. Make sure you know this, right? Increase in supply. Why increase in imports will lead to Malaysian ringgit depreciates? Chuchun? Why? Supply will increase when there's increase in imports. Oh, I just went to Mid Valley last weekend. The 3 rows come back already. The 3 rows of exchange. Huh? Yes, yes. So in order to use the MYR to buy the imports, we have to, first of all, supply our currency to buy the another currency. Then the supply will increase from SS to SS1. Make sense? Make sense. Don't draw this type of diagram for me in floating. Right? Don't draw. Just draw either demand shift right or left or supply shift left to right. But the market must be there. You must have a demand and supply market, right? Together. Next one is increase in payments of income. Zichen, why payment income will lead to currency depreciates? If I record. Faster, faster. No time already. The opposite of this one. Opposite of income receipt. Which means you pay income to overseas. Right? When people buy the house here, you pay them rent. But the rent is in Malaysian ringgit. When the rent is in Malaysian ringgit, they will have to convert it back to their own currency to use. Or when they buy the shares of Sunway. Buy shares of Sunway, Sunway will pay dividend. You know what's dividend or not? You know what's dividend? No. Do you know what's dividend? Don't simply knock your head. I think you don't know. You know what's dividend? What's dividend? Oh, you know? What? What's dividend? What's dividend? Huh? Oh my god. Huh? What? Huh? Why you speak so soft? Really cannot hear, right? What? What? Sorry. What? Hey, where's your girlfriend?
Good question. I don't know.
Run and stop. And
then own like the stock, and then they like give like some, how to say, to me.
never mind. I give her already. Right? Remember I told you about this A equals to L plus OE, right? Under OE, you buy the shares, right? Under shares, if they earn profit, they will be separated into two parts. One is retained earnings in accounting for R&D purpose. Another one is they will pay back to the shareholders this dividend, right? This dividend. So if they own Sunway shares, for example, then Sunway pay dividend because they are earning profit. After endemic, their theme parks start to earn money, their hotels start to earn money, they will have to pay back to the shareholders. But Sunway dividend is in Malaysian ringgit. When it's in Malaysian ringgit, and they don't want to use Malaysian ringgit, they have to supply the Malaysian ringgit to the market. SS increase to SS1, currency of Malaysian ringgit will depreciate so that they can buy their own currency. Make sense? Make sense? Capital outflow, what's the capital outflow? Mineshit. Oh. Mineshit, do you want to answer? It's okay, never mind. If you feel not well, Mineshit, right? Are you okay, Mineshit? Are you there? Hello? Right? It's okay, it's okay. Don't worry, Mineshit. Don't simply guess, right? Mineshit never said anything, right? It's okay, Mineshit is not here. Right, next one. Never mind. I help Mineshit to answer. It's faster, otherwise Yihui will scold me again. Right? Capital outflow means what? Now you transfer your money to overseas. You transfer your money to overseas. Maybe you want to do what? Investment. Maybe politics are not stable in Malaysia because we are having election. I want to transfer most of the money that I take from under table. Wow. In fact, yeah, maybe your currency will depreciate more. Because during election, right, this is where all the politicians are afraid. Suddenly, when there's a change of political party that take over the government, they will check all their accounts. So the currency will depreciate. Anyone want to go overseas during December? Better buy now. Otherwise, we will face more. Wait until Singapore dollar become 4. That's sad. Right? So maybe all this will lead to supply in currency Malaysia ringgit. Then maybe they transfer it to Swiss account. You know the Swiss account, right? The Swiss account that they like a lot in bank account because there's a PNC thingy and no one can check the Swiss account, right? Next one is the benefit of the effects are not only benefit, also the negative effect of floating exchange rate. Oh, hang already. Always hang. It's okay. Oh, by the way, tomorrow there's no game changer. Why? Meeting. I told you, right? Chances are there's always meeting. That's why I say the previous one is the last one. If you need game changer, Friday I'm not here. Why? I have a lot of classes. Maybe Friday 7:30. That's all. There's only session that I've left. Right? Friday 7:30. And Monday. When is our exam, is it? Monday.
Right in the morning.
Monday, then don't need. Okay. That's all. Right?
7:30.
Huh?
7:30.
Monday 7:30. Will I be here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be here Monday 7:30. Yes. Monday 7:30. Right?
Let's go.
Okay. Continue first. Right. One good thing about the floating exchange rate is the balance of payment will always be balanced because the government don't need to monitor. Right. They also use less resources. Right. What I mean by balance will always be balanced. For example, remember I told you about the 3 accounts under the balance of payment. Oh, use up already. Space here. I told you the 3 accounts on under balance of payment. There are 3 accounting accounts, right? Which is the BOP. There is current there's a capital, there's a financial account, right? When there's a transfer of money, it will be recorded as debit here. Transfer of money to overseas, current. Why I transfer the money? Maybe I want to buy a factory. When I want to buy a factory, it will be recorded in here. So your asset will be CR. This one is accounting, but just know the concept is one money go out, another one money come in. Right? So that's always balance. Make sense? Always balance. This is only applicable for floating exchange rates, right? Floating exchange rate. Oh, I remember already. Why Ministry want to stay at home already? Because this is the week that I'm going to ask Ministry to do plank. Yeah, Ministry. Why you run away? Right? So like this one, deficit on current account, there will be a surplus on the capital or the financial account. Right? Financial account means that, for example, if I transfer my money to overseas, maybe I want to open an account in US to buy shares. So the money will be transferred to financial account. Right? Something like that. This is the DR and CR, the accounting thing. Right? I'm not going to go through too much because we already removed the balance of payment syllabus in foundation. Otherwise, we cannot finish the syllabus and you will suffer more. This one, due to the government is not going to intervene anything, it always refers to as clean float, which means they don't play any dirty tricks. Right? That's floating exchange rates. They don't play any dirty tricks. Like not like you when you're doing my progress review and test, always play dirty tricks and cheat on my test, right? It's okay. That one is dirty, but this one is clean, right? Make sense? Make sense? Any question on floating so far? Management is the one that is harder, actually. Anything? No? Ajit, are you clear? Sure. Because you came late. Sure. Manage is harder. Right. Manage is harder. Because manage is like mix, right? Manage is like mixed economic system, it's like mixed, it's like partial government control and partial free market, which means maybe the government control 50% of the exchange rate market, maybe they control 30% of the market, maybe they control 70% of the market. As long as they don't control 100%, it's considered managed exchange rate. Depends on how big is the range, right? So this one is always controlled by the Reserve Bank of that country, right? And the Bank Negara Malaysia, note that BNM stands for what? Bank Negara Malaysia, right? Your seniors wrote what last time I told you? Barisan Nasional Malaysia, right? Please don't write this in my essay. I'll give you a big no, then the entire essay will be 0 because you write Barisan Nasional. Yeah, huh? Due to political bias. Just kidding. Yeah, you can write as short form, but normally I will encourage you to use Reserve Bank or Central Bank, then you will not write wrong. Then after that, you can use your RB and CB, right? No difference. Just different terms used by different textbooks, right? Reserve Bank and Central Bank. Then you just put bracket RB, CB, right? Just don't keep on use too much CB because I will think that you are scolding me in essays, right? Make sense? Okay. So what do I mean by buyer seller? Okay, look properly. The diagram for this one is complicated. When I say complicated, I don't know whether you take it or don't take it seriously. Let's see. Right, for example, this is MYR over USD, right? Always you must write your currency on top, right? Write your currency on top as a product name or put it at price of something or quantity of something. If you don't want to write on top, you have to write both place, both axes, right? there will be two range for managed exchange rates. Malaysia is currently using managed exchange rates. Previously it was fixed, right? There will be two range. One is known as the upper exchange rates range. Another one is known as the lower exchange rate range. Right? So far, is it okay? They have to monitor these two values. They have to monitor these two values. Like they put the, you know, if you look at some government or political movies, there will be a lot of screens, monitors, you know, right? There will be a lot of statistics going up and down, up and down. These are the something like that they're going to monitor, right? So what happened? If the supply, which is usually the case for Malaysia, the supply always increase, never decrease. Supply increase, for example, and it falls between the range of upper and lower, the central bank is not going to do anything because it's still within manageable range. Does that make sense? Make sense? Yeah. It will come out or no? Don't think that we don't ask you to draw diagram later.
So, what do you mean by manageable range?
They will set a range that target like, okay, I can accept until this appreciation, I can accept until this depreciation. Exceeding these two will not be tolerable.
So basically exceeding the lower boundary and upper boundary.
Yes, it will not be tolerable. Then only they intervene the market. That's why it's known as managed. It's partially managed by the central bank. Right? Make sense? In here, there's no government intervention. Right? So it's a good thing. Government not yet intervene. There's no government intervention. However, if the supply continue to increase, as in Malaysia, Malaysia, the demand never go up. Only the supply always go up, which is very sad. Right? It's no longer here like that. The S1 is not here, but the S1 is below the lower range. Can you see that? Now the action is below the low range. Is it okay so far? Because this one is also quite popular question, right? Make sense? Make sense, huh? Then the government will start to enter the market as a buyer.
For the axis, I can just write PQ, right? I don't have to write anything else.
What PQ?
For the axis, the M.
This one PQ is okay.
I can just write PQ, I don't need to write anything else.
Unless you want to follow your manual one, it's also okay. The manual axis. Right, you want to write the MYR USD here, price of something, then quantity of something. Right, it's also okay. Right, normally, you know, I like efficiency, so I will try to simplify all the letters and symbols as accurate, but also not complicated as possible. Right. So this is when the government started to intervene the market. When it's lower range, just like Malaysian ringgit, depreciate. The central bank, can I use CB? Can you say one, don't say a school rule words, right? The central bank will enter as a buyer. Central bank, what central bank do? Central bank will look at this screen. This is what the trader do, right? Look at this screen. Oh my God, it's already dropped until blah, 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 blah. What they do? They enter, they go to the trade counter and start to buy back their own currency. Make sense? They use what to buy? They use other countries' currency to buy. Because you cannot use MYR to buy MYR. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
You have to use other countries' currency to buy back your own currency, or use gold to buy back your own currency. Right? So they will enter the market and buy it until it drops back to the range, then they'll stop. This is the demand also increase the demand. Make sense? Make sense? Any question on manage or buyer? Right? For seller, Malaysia never entered as a seller before, unfortunately. So I'm going to change the scenario to China.
We can still use.
China is still using manage.
You're right.
Hmm?
Make it theory.
You can use it theory lah. Real world, we are only a buyer. We are never seller. So I will use RMB overuse as USD, right? Overuse as USD. This one is China case. China also have their upper range and their lower range, right? China, make sense so far? For this scenario, a lot of people buy RMB. A lot of people buy RMB. So the demand will increase. But as long as the demand falls in between the range, the PBOC, you know what's PBOC? People's Bank of China, which is the Reserve Bank name for China, will not intervene the market. Will not intervene the market. All right? Make sense? Make sense? Coming was like, I'm lost since chapter 5. Don't ask me anything. Right. Coming, right? So that, what is this? Is this the drawing class?
Yes.
Why there are so many colors? How many crayons and color pencils I need to bring to my fun exam? Right. So the PBOC or Reserve Bank of China will not intervene in the market if this is the scenario, right? The scenario happens when this is still managed, huh? Only they don't intervene, right? Happens when a lot of people want to buy until it is over the upper limit. So there will be a exchange rate appreciation for the RMB. RMB is the currency for China. I told you before, known as the renminbi. Right, RMB is renminbi. All right, makes sense? Don't use yen. Yen is because yen is used by a few countries. It's very confusing, right? Then the PBOC will enter the market as a seller. So PBOC or the Reserve Bank will enter as a seller. Surprisingly, my reflection already trained myself until when I talk about Malaysia Central Bank, I will use CB. When I use other countries' central bank, I will use RB. Wow, my reflection is so good. Don't know why. Enter as a seller. Enter as a seller, what? They enter as a seller and sell. This is a good case. They sell their own currencies. If you sell their own currencies until within the range, then they stop. Why is it a good thing when you sell your own currencies? What is a good thing for China? Why? Why? Faster, think, faster. Good thing is, the currency I told before is just paper. If you want more, I just print more for you. Then I sell it to the market. But another good thing is, I can get your currency. I can get more gold. I can get more of another country's currency. I can use the currency to attack you when you interfere with my politics and economy. Does it make sense? Makes sense. So China is always in this case. Another question I want to ask you is, why China want to lower down their currency exchange rates? Why? No, they don't care about the value of release. They are more concerned with another thing. For exports. Wow! Your name auto late every day. Correct in first right? Yes. Because most of the thing you use right now is made in China. If the currency appreciates too much, China exports will start to become very expensive. It will interfere with their GDP. Makes sense. Makes sense. Just imagine this one. GDP is equals to C plus I plus G plus NX, X minus M, right? China is worried that if the currency appreciates too much, the exports will be very expensive. So the exports will go down. When exports go down, the GDP will go down. So the China want to continue to grow. As a result, they want to control their currency, although their currency by right should be worth more right now. Makes sense. Makes sense. Right? This is the scenario that your country would never see, unfortunately. Right? Very sad. Currently, anyone, because of political instability in Malaysia, anyone started to move your funds overseas, started to open more trading account, convert it to US dollar or something? No? Any parents do that? Or you're busy helping the population growth during your weekend? Students, right? Anyhow, I was like, yeah, I just did that. Right? Any question? This one is this two lah. Although I still use the bank account director in this case, actually not really lah. This is okay. This case. So this refers to the first one. This one refers to the second one. Second diagram, right? This one is the first one, the CB. Another one is the RB. Okay. Any question on the managed exchange rates? Yes.
Second Mac one, right? We have in the second supply.
For this one, this case, right? You have to. For this case, manage, you have to. So manage, you have to prove to me D increase to D1, which is exceeding your upper limit. Right? Then you have to, if you want, you can draw more accurate. I want to save time just now. You can draw more accurate. For example, you can draw this P1 or P1 greater than P upper. So you just tell me explain. Oh, because P1 is now greater than P upper, the currency appreciates too much, right? The Reserve Bank doesn't like it because they want to maintain the export price as low price. So they decided to enter the market and sell their own currency to buy other countries' currency, right? Hence, S will shift to S1. They falls within the range, then they will stop interfering with the market. You listen the word I use the word market. Because I told you in chapter 6, mostly are micro. There are only one demand, one supply. Currency is the only one good. Makes sense. So I use the word market. In previous chapter 1 to chapter 5, I use industries. I use many industries. I don't use the word market. All right. So these are the some of the words that you need to take note when you write essays. Don't mix up everything. Because a lot of students, when they go to final, right, they will draw me something like that. I have no idea what is this, like 45 degree lah, then there's an AD here lah. I don't know what is this. Seriously. Right, what is this? Nonsense. Right. Then we draw me the withdrawal injection like that lah, then actually this one is I lah, this one is S lah. Then it will be another 45 degree line. Oh my god. This is the fusion you'll give me in final. This is the fusion, right? I have no idea what type of diagrams it is, right? This is something that you're going to draw. Do you believe? Do you believe some of you will draw me something like that, or like that, in the end? How many of you think that it may happen? Well, no one. So all of you will get full marks, right? Diagrams will be accurate 100%. I will see. Right?
I don't believe you will draw that.
You don't believe you will draw that? Do you believe your friends will draw that?
I believe it.
In them, they will draw that.
No, I believe they won't.
Okay. For the effects, right? For managed exchange rates, there are some effects as well. There are a lot of negative effects because of that. Sometimes Bank Negara Malaysia, they doesn't like to use the upper and lower. They just use the interest rates. Right. For example, in this case, right? In this case, if they don't want to keep on buying back their own currency, they can increase the interest rate so that a lot of savers from overseas, they will buy Malaysia ringgit and deposit in Malaysia. So this is another way. Make sense? Instead of Bank Negara Malaysia enter as a buyer, Bank and government measure increase the interest rate so that other savers enter as a buyer in the market. Right? This is only applicable for savers, depositors. It's not applicable for loans or borrowers. Make sense? By now, you should know what's the difference between savers, borrowers, lenders, all this. Right? Make sense? So this is in here. And because this one government intervene the market, disturb the market, is known as the dirty float or lightly managed float. Dirty. They are paying, started to pay dirty tricks, just like some of you. Right? Doing dirty tricks, right? Started to sneak some paper in your hoodie so that during final exam you can refer back. I saw few in my invigilation stuff this week. Dirty. Huh?
Do you catch that?
Because I'm a very elastic lecturer. Right. Okay.
No, but
Do you think I should?
it depends.
Depends on.
So if they're weak, that means
Huh?
shows they're showing passion towards the thing. You
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
So if you're very deep,
Yeah. At least the good thing is they appreciate the money that the parents pump in. That's something that I appreciate a lot. Right. So try to do that. Don't try to do that. Try to play some dirty tricks during final exam. Let's see other invigilators will catch you or not. Right? Okay, let's see. We'll see. Hmm? Oh yeah, I'm one of the invigilators.
for macro,
Yeah.
you gotta come.
I know you're going to play dirty tricks, I know all your dirty tricks, From the hand until the fingers, under the fingernails, right? Until the label on your correction pen, right? Until your toes, right? A lot. Yeah. Wear slippers. Like that. Look at the toes. Oh, yo. Got answers there. They use pedicure. One case they use pedicure. Oh, yo. Pedicure the answers. Anyone going to do manicure, pedicure during this weekend? Right? Helping to improve economic growth? Feel free. Right? Oh, sure, nowadays. Hiya, when I was cheating, you're not even born yet. Come on. You think I don't know tricks? You all don't have creativity anyway. You're still following the ancestors tricks, right? Okay. That is for manage. Let's have a break. Then we go through the fixed and effects. Then we are good to go. Any question on the manage and the floating? Anything else? Actually, not here. I'm so sad. Yeah, this one is the